Hey y'all, it's your girl Michelle Ambrose coming to you with my first ever podcast, episode 1. Thanks for joining me.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You are now in the game with Dropping Dimes, Basketball Diaries with Michelle Ambrose, giving you the good, the bad, and the full court press. A mother's love of the game while navigating her son through high school basketball, prep school, university, and beyond. Get ready. Game clock set. We about to tip off.
So why am I even doing a podcast? And let alone, why am I doing a podcast about basketball? For those who know, you know. For those who don't know, lean in. Let me explain a little bit about me and who I am and why I'm even doing a podcast about basketball. Let's start from the beginning. I was born in London, England. I am the young one in the family. I have an older brother who's 3 years older than me. And, you know, I set forth having lots of debates with him in regards to various life topics. Anyways, we'll get more into that. But what it stands for right now is let me let you know who I am, right? So mommy came from Trinidad, met my dad in England, rest his soul, because he has passed away. My dad was from a small island called Union Island, where he was a brother of, there was 9 of them in the family and 9 on my mom's side. So as you can understand, we have grown up in a firm Caribbean background. Mom was the typical, she was a nurse, worked nights. So for the most part, she was there when we were getting up in the morning to get ready for school. And my dad was there to take us to all of the activities or sports that we would trickle into. So the dynamics was, you know, the standard family. Mommy wanted me to become a nurse later on in life. I did not choose that profession, but I saw that she loved what she did and she enjoyed it. And she you know, to this day, I fully understand the reason she took that profession. She's amazing as being a nurse. Me, on the other hand, I wasn't, you know, I was not the person really looking to go into that medical profession. I was more of that kind of freelance type. You know, I didn't know what I really wanted to do, to be honest with you, growing up. So as I grew up, I played many sports. I want to say I was great at everything. There was not one sport I can think of that I wasn't good at. I typically did track, whether it was hurdles, shot put, relays, 100. I did it all. Long jump, standing, broad jump, you name it, I did it. So very talented in that regards. I often would do softball. And that's probably my first love of any type of sport. My first love was playing softball. My dad would come out, only individual who was black in the stands cheering his daughter. It was my dad. But he probably really liked softball and me playing softball because it resonated with playing cricket. So he was definitely my biggest fan and cheerleader when it came to my games. So from there, I went into high school. I went to Woburn Collegiate, and there as a freshman, I got invited to play with the senior women's varsity team. Now, you have to obviously understand that it was a small school. Not a lot of females played basketball back when I was playing, and to get good talent, it was hard. So I got promoted from being freshman all the way up to the senior varsity team, and I played, I rocked it. I enjoyed it. I think that was my real first introduction of competitively playing basketball through my school. From there, I went to college. I started off at George Brown, where I played 1 year basketball there. And then I moved over to Seneca, where I continued my studies and I continued to play basketball. So basketball, I would definitely say, has always been a passion. Not my first, but definitely always a passion. And it still has, like that moment when I want to pick up the basketball and shoot around. I still have that inclination to do stuff like that with basketball. I think what's important to know about me is that in anything that I do, I try to put my best foot forward and making sure that, you know, you understand the fundamentals, you're understanding kind of like the rules and regulations of the game, and just really being a great participant in that forum. So with that, that's a little bit about me. That's where I come from. I have an older brother, like I had mentioned. I have a dog. Her name is Khaleesi. You'll meet her from time to time. You'll see her or you'll hear her. She'll be barking or whatnot. So, what I hold dear to me is family. And for those who know me that like I will put my heart on the sleeve and I will, do my best to be that friend or that family member that will help wherever I can help. And I'm always passionate of making sure that our youth today understand, basketball is definitely an avenue for you to take. And if you grab a scholarship or if you are able to obtain various other adventures or a journey through basketball or any sport, best believe there's still academics that are tied to it. So make sure that you're aligning yourself with making sure that you're doing the right process, right? That your books are in check along with your skill set for that sport. So I didn't want to keep this as a heavy first session. I'm excited to have launched and get out there because the hardest thing is starting, right? And I feel like dropping dimes Basketball Diaries has been one of those things I've thought about for many months, but it was really, trying to kind of put my mindset around the technology behind it, as well as, is that something I will have time for? I will commit to dropping dimes, at least a podcast bi-weekly on a Friday. So if you haven't already, click and subscribe wherever that little dingy thing is on the screen. It's probably down here in the toolbar, like everyone else has pointed out in theirs. Click and subscribe. You can definitely write me at any point in time if you want to give me feedback, if you want to come up with a topic that you'd like me to discuss or that you would need some answers on. Dropping dimes, because I know I jumped over actually the reason for this podcast to tell you a little bit about me. So now let me jump forward and tell you a bit more about the podcast and what that is and what it means. And really and truly, it's to provide you with some of the steps that I went through with my son in getting him a D1 scholarship to the University of Alabama and now his present school at SMU, which is Southern Methodist University. So I want to be able to provide you with different options that you can look into, and it should help you with what you might be going through with your son or daughter in your process. It should also shed some light to some of the hurdles or obstacles I might have gone through and that you could prevent yourself going through. So what I will definitely say is trust the process. And I know a lot of people say that, but I want you to also trust yourself. I think if you understand kind of what you want for your child or your child understands what he or she wants, then you will go far. And don't let anyone else try to sway you in what you want to do. What I will say is it is tough. Getting D1 scholarship, D2 scholarship, even a D3, it's not something that's easy that you can just put your hat in the ring and be able to, pull it out and you have one. I mean, it takes work. And I will definitely give you some of the steps that I had gone through, to ensure that, there was alignment with my son being able to be a prospect, right? And I will definitely share that with you. So I'll drop certain dimes in different episodes. Don't want to overwhelm you too much because this is still episode number 1. But I want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining in, for clicking and listening to me talk for, maybe about 5 minutes, 6 minutes right now. But I want you to know that definitely I'm still learning. I think with this thing called basketball, this process, this business, this journey, I am definitely still learning. But I think you'll be surprised to see how far I've really come from, the beginning to now, as well as what is in the horizon. And I mean, I have so much to share with you. I can't wait for us to just get into it. So, like I said, before you close this video, subscribe, click here or click there, click somewhere on your screen to make sure you're still locked into me, as well as be able to know that every other Friday I will be dropping a new episode. So I'll catch you when I catch you. Have a good one.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Droppin' Dimes Basketball Diaries. The good, the bad, and the full court press. Make sure you like and share, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode.